Hello, YouTubers, Gothic King 52 again with the subject on Ghost and Poltergeist. As I didn't get enough time to say what I mostly wanted to say about the subject, I think I did another insight on it. Some ghost shows I wouldn't recommend, like The Other Siders. That was like the Sean Country Network that had a ghost show, and I thought, wow, there's a lot of ghost shows on TV these days. I know Animal Planet has one that was pretty good. I saw one episode I didn't really care for, and I saw the other episode they were in this prison-like thing, and to me they had way too many people in their investigation. So the suspicion for faking for ratings was inevitable. I mean, it was a suspicion I had. Oh, for one, they were flipping out on a chair, switching rooms, and the shit I've read about in books and studying documentaries and all that stuff I learned about ghosts. A ghost moving a chair is the least scary thing. It can do a lot of shit to fuck with your mind. I mean, as humans, we'd love to have superpowers and have ability to control shit and throw stuff across the room without even touching it. Once you're a ghost, you're able to do that, so it's kind of ironic. Get my guitar out. It's the way they filmed it too. The Other Siders, like where the camera angles shot, it was very suspicious to me. I thought there's no way that the ghost did that. I mean, they had to be doing it. And then when they had switched, like they had 8 ghost members, hunters, people on their supposed team. They're all teenagers too, which was another thing. They weren't very professional about the way they shot it, and the way they had it filmed when they switched crew members, the way they'd like each person had their own camera or some shit like that, and the way they filmed it, someone could have switched it without looking or without anyone seeing, and then they could have filmed it just as they're getting out, going, "What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?" with the camera all flipping out and shit. Or they could have done it, and then they had to switch. Like the 4 people that were upstairs went downstairs to see if the next set of people had the same experiences, and the chair supposedly switched places. I'm not saying it was or wasn't a ghost. I'm just saying, suspiciously, it was suspicious shit. It was suspicious where they filmed the TV show. However, if you go to Discovery, not Discovery, but Sci-Fi Channel, you watch TAPS, the Ghost Hunters team. They're very professional about the way they film it, and then they try to debunk the shit they find. I have their book too on ghost hunting. I haven't quite gotten to it yet because, like I said, I have a stack of books over here that I haven't quite finished yet, and I finished one, but I still got 2 left to finish. Anyway, the book and their quote for saying, if you go into a location assuming everything is evidence, you'll get everything, it'll seem like evidence. But if you go into a location and you try to debunk everything, you'll get the evidence that you can't explain away, and that makes for true ghost evidence. In the book, too, they're quoted for saying that they hate it when they don't get evidence on a location, but they're even more eager and more excited when they do get evidence on the next location. So. Check my time. 3:15 minutes. Right. I'll tell you one of my ghost experiences. I had my first one. I lived in a very old house. My mom recently received a hutch from her great aunt who had died, and it was in her will. And then we had like this old house, and with the hutch, like you go out and over here, there's this hutch, and there's a movie cabinet, and across from here is cereal cabinet. We go back in here, and here on the corner is a kitchen. There's a refrigerator. There's a garbage can, and over there, past that, my dad's on the couch watching TV in the living room, and by the TV is the 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, and this 1 bedroom is a walk away around pantry, and then back to the kitchen, you walk downstairs, whatever. Anyway, I'm over by the trash can, I throw something away, I look over, and from the movie cabinet past the hutch, and to the cereal cabinet, this full-bodied apparition walks. She looked like she was like in the 30s, I think, or 20s. She had like cut hair like down to here and kind of curled up like it had in the 30s, and she was wearing like a very flowing kind of dressy pajama gown. And as soon as she appeared, I looked over and my dad's TV, it shut off. The sound just shut off. Like I couldn't hear it. I sat there just staring at the ghost like, and it went from the movie cabinet across the hutch all the way to the cereal cabinet and then disappeared. It was kind of foggy, kind of semi-transparent. And as soon as it disappeared, the sound came back on. Like now, every time I see a ghost, the sound will shut off. Like I won't hear anything or see anything except what the ghost is doing. It's really cool. I'm like, Dad, did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? And I'm like all excited because I just saw a ghost, and he's like, see what? He didn't see it. And I was kind of pissed off. And then I'm always kicking myself in the ass because every time I see a ghost, I never have a camera on me because I never think to take a picture because I keep telling my parents I'm seeing ghosts, and they keep thinking, oh, she's doing it to scare her sisters or this, and this, and they don't believe me. But so it's kind of frustrating. In that same house, though, my entire family was there. My grandparents, my sister, and my mom and dad, and we were all sitting at the table. All of a sudden, this picture, when a high chef goes, plops over on its face. We all look up and go, we're all just silent. And then we continue talking, you know. And a couple of days later, the same thing happens, only it's on a lower shelf on the picture. It just goes of no cost, all on its own. Second house I lived in was haunted by a hippie ghost, I believe, who, I believe died. Someone, he was, total pothead. Someone put crystal meth on his pot, and that's how he died. And lots of, I think about that time we had my sister Sam, and she was going like this as she walked downstairs. And I'm like, and she knew what she was doing. And then she got downstairs and looked up. I'm like, who are you looking at, Sam? Sean? That's the name of the ghost, Sean. She goes, yeah. I was like, holy shit. And the entire basement was painted purple, too. And it's always so fucking cold down there. And, once I got the words purple haze, like I was saying like I was stoned. I had no idea why I was saying it. And then I found out from my friend that purple haze is this type of marijuana. And that really unnerved me. And the upstairs, too, was painted like someone put sponges and dabbed that with paint, like spots or whatever. And we had a problem with the pipes. It just tapped like. But I don't believe it was the pipes. Some of them might have been the pipes, some of them might have been Sean. Because then we'd all see like something like a ping pong ball bouncing on cement, like. And this house had a more nasty environment to it than the first house did. Both houses were in the same town. And so I thought, I'll talk about a conversation with Sean. So I'm like, Sean, if you want to answer my questions, tap once in the pipes for yes and twice for no. And I asked the questions that I thought were true, and sure enough, I got once for yes and twice for no, and all the questions I thought were right. It was mind-boggling. And I moved back to Casper from North Dakota, and first house I lived in was brand new, but the guy that built it did a shitty job building it, so he skipped town. Anyway, babysitting my sister Sam downstairs. My parents and my other sister are out of the house looking at new houses because the one they're in right now sucked. And me and my sister Sam both here would sound like boots walking across the kitchen floor. Like, we had 2 dogs, which I'll show in a video later. We had 2 dogs, and between their patter feet and the boots, big difference. And my sister Sam goes, Mommy and Daddy are home. I'm like, no, Sam, they're not home. She goes, yes, they are. I'm like, no, they're not. She goes, I'll go check upstairs. And I knew no one was home because I would have heard their voices. And I convinced her to stay downstairs. And sure enough, a couple hours later, when they finally did get home, we heard their voices. And it was a truly weird experience. Just similar ghost experience I've had, and many more. What time is it? 8 minutes and 24, 25, 26. I believe the first ghost I saw in the first house was, his name was Jack. He died of alcohol poisoning or some shit. I don't know if that was his ghost or someone else's or my great aunt. I'm not sure, but. The house had a very nice environment to it. The second house I moved into, North Dakota, before I moved here, had a more, like a much heavier, more negative environment. And even my dogs, too, when we moved, they weren't as neurotic. Even my dogs, too, like, they'd be in the second house and they'd stare at something that was in the kitchen and I couldn't see, and they'd bark at it, roo, 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 and their hair would stand up, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're being morons, but no, they were barking at the ghost. In the first house, though, before Chocolate died recently, she was very old. In the middle of the night, she just woke up and started growling at something that we all couldn't see. And it freaked my mom out, my stepmom out so much. She walked around the house with the fucking kitchen knife going like that, thinking there was an intruder, and there wasn't anyone in the house. So, yeah. I guarantee if you go into a haunted location as a skeptic and you find a ghost, you're going to be twice as scared when you walk out.